Hey, what's up? It's Anders here. Just wanted to make a video to show uh, what I did with the AccuView commercial opportunity, and I had a message from somebody in Syndicate, and they were wondering if they could hear the full track, and some people were wondering what kind of synths I was using or instruments and whatnot. Um, and just wanted to play the full track and kind of go through some things in the session, so you guys can maybe take what I did and learn from it, as far as how I was producing some of it. Um, and I use Ableton Live, by the way. This is Live 9. Uh, it'll be pretty cool when 10 comes out. A lot of cool features I'll be able to use, but for now I use 9. Um, it's just what I've been using for a few years now, so I just have been using it for all kinds of things, for EDM, pop, uh, this corporate stuff, some kind of theatrical backstory things, all the things I worked in with the Syndicate, the Fox Sports thing even. I put everything in Ableton, recording, editing, mixing, master, everything, all in Ableton. So anyway, um, that's what I use. So if it looks kind of confusing, just ask me what some of these things are. Like these are plugins, but let me first play the track for you, and so we can hear what it's like. I'll turn my mic down here. So that is that. Um, that is the full version of it. So I have several other versions, like the 15-second, 60-second, 30 Sting, no leads, drum bass, that Jesse was putting together to send off to Library X. So it's cool that whoever won the opportunity, that's like super cool for them. Uh, but I mean, we all had pretty cool tracks too. Uh, they can all be used for something really cool in their own right. Um, so I think that's why the library saw them as like really good tracks all together anyways. So so that's pretty cool. so that's why I have these alt mixes here. Anyway, let me go through the session here, and I'll just kind of I'll play some stuff, kind of talk about what I did with EQ, compression, you know, really not that much, really not that complicated. This whole project maybe took 4 or 6 hours of actual work of recording, editing, you know, finding the sounds, putting it all in, mixing them together with the voiceover. That's a reference track, and you know, this is just the voiceover right here, you know. And what was cool about me actually timing some things up, I found this reference track on YouTube, and I just hit play on it, and somehow it fit exactly with the length of the video. When I hit play on YouTube and then played the video, everything inside the reference track was lining up perfectly. So I was like, whoa. And so that's why I made the tempo as at 120. So it kind of made it easy to match the length of the video, because every second is, you know, 120 beats a minute. Every 2/8 notes is 1 second, you know. So I mean, that's pretty much a clock. Now, I'm not too sure with the frames thing in Ableton. I haven't been able to find anything about that, but I guess it hasn't been too much of an issue, because I just pretty much synced my song up to how long the video was. So I'm actually not supposed to have any sound there. I know that the final was like that. I don't know why I stretched it out so far. I think I was something I was doing with the alt mixes. I moved this automation over, but in the submission I sent for the actual commercial, when it's completely black, okay, there's literally no sound, okay? All right. Boom. So for my automation, you know, I have no sound pretty much 100 milliseconds before the video actually ends. So I have this much silence before the physical video is over. So that's okay, you know, like I was saying earlier about dead air. That's pretty much where that starts. Just before the video ends, so there's, you know, enough time for the next thing. And anyway, so I found this reference track, hit play right under the video, and I thought, hey, I'll just use this track as a basis for my track that I want to submit. So I just kind of use it as a template, and I change the key and a lot of the melodies around, so it's not exactly the same. So let's see. So the kick, of course, it'll start at the top. Here we go. This video might be a little long. It's already 10 minutes, but just want to go through things pretty quick here. You know, I don't have any of the snappiness there that I would have otherwise. You know, maybe good for like you know, the kick is the main part of the song, but really the main part of this whole video is the voiceover. So I have that, and then I put it as snare, but it's actually a bunch of claps. And put a reverse clap in there, you know. At first I had these too often, and then Jesse was like, have them a little less often. So I just cut the frequency in half of how many times they would happen. So it seemed to match up well with what's going on inside every other percussion element. So I have the clap there. So I am taking out a little bit, you know, and just some reverb. I am taking out a lot here because someone's going to be talking. I still kind of want the snare sound there to give that beat a presence. But someone's also talking on top, so I don't want it to overpower that. So perc, I have this little subgroup here. It's just percussion, like tambourine hits, loops that I did by the way, on Splice, and some samples that I got on Splice and other places that I did buy them from. So like, and just having some subtle changes throughout, you know, every few bars, and maybe something leading up to something, you know. And I have a shaker here, just kind of subtly 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, just kind of accenting 2, 3, 4. I don't know. I just thought it fit with what I was hearing in my head. So, and just kind of like a subtle hi-hat, and it's kind of doing like a random filter thing. Just kind of sounds like random accents, but that's okay. I didn't want it to be exactly the same. I actually did physically play these onto a pad machine MIDI controller I have, so I just load the sample on there and just hit these keys. I believe it's C3 and D3, right? Yeah, C3. Yeah, so pretty much very simple, just kind of physically playing them. Oh yeah, so that was the accent there. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. And anyway, moving on. Toms, really, you know, straightforward. These were from a sample pack that Jesse actually handed out. I use these every now and then. I'll detune them if I have to fit the key of the song that I'm doing, but it seemed okay with these. Whatever tuning these were in, it seemed to fit okay anyways. So, which the key I believe is A major, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go to the piano and make sure. So D, F sharp, A. Yeah, that's well, A, D, F sharp, A. That's like a D major, but A, C sharp, So I think two sharps, I believe, is either D major or A major. I'm not sure, but it's a major key and 4 chords the whole song. So I know Jesse was saying like 4 chords kind of tricky. You kind of have to have a lot of changes throughout the whole song, so it's not 4 chords over and over, and all you're listening to is the 4 chords. At least there's some subtle changes along the way. So I also have these cymbal swells, you know, from east west, percussion. I think it's frozen. There it is. Okay. Yeah, it's just a orchestral percussion sample library. And one of the keys is like a cymbal swell. You just hold the key down. And it's like somebody, you know, just getting some mallets, cymbal roll, you know. So I have a couple of those, not too often, just for like when there was a reveal, like right about here. Yeah, so like whatever the dude was saying.
We call it I-inspired innovation. For example,
and just for that moment, because he's like talking about, you know, the whole purpose of the commercial. And cymbal swell. I have another one that I detuned for one of the alt mixes because I wanted 2 swells there, but I didn't want the same swell happening. So effects. Oh, this is something I actually took out from a original. Jesse told me it was too distracting. It was sort of in the reference track, so I just put it in there as like as part of the guide, but it just maybe seemed too distracting at the time, so I just took it out. And then, so that was just kind of like a bloop. It's just a little synth hit, you know. That's all it is. Just so anyway, this is Serum. I won't go into it too much, but I can maybe explain a little bit a little later. If you guys have any questions about using Serum, I've been using it for a while. There's a lot of tutorials online too on how all the stuff works. Like there's even stuff that is not written in the manual. Some people made videos about. It's really cool software synth, really powerful. So for my effects, just some up sweeps and down sweeps. And just some automation on the actual clip itself, so just so it sounds better. It's some noise I made inside Serum. I recorded the noise and just made it as my own sample. Like say over here it says my sweeps, up sweep, samples, and here's the recorded ones. You know, so I just, that's one of the reasons why it didn't take me this long. It took maybe 4 hours or something to actually write everything, and maybe another 2 or 4 hours of mixing and putting it all together. And then the alt mixes took about an hour to compile together and making them. And I know this video is kind of long, but I wanted to go over a few things just really quick. I could talk about this for hours, I'm sure. And bass, just another Serum, you know. It's a wavetable. I think I physically drew it out. I was looking at an actual bass guitar waveform, and then I tried my best to copy it. But again, that's wavetable stuff. You might not understand what I just said unless you know how to use this part of Serum, which is really cool in itself. So that's how I made the bass line. I've always had this one. I think I made this patch a long time ago. I always use it. It's so cool. It's just so, like, I don't know, smooth. So I call it bass guitar smooth. That makes sense to me. So there's the bass, just following the bass line, the piano. So I'll get into the guitar in a sec, but the piano is just east-west again. Quantum leap. Dun, dun, dun. So it's just a sample library of an actual piano they recorded, and really cool plugins that East-West has. So that's piano, and the bass, synth lead, just kind of subdued. And it's a lead. I called it a lead because it seems like it's leading into the next part, but it's not. It's also not like, hey, I'm the lead, synth, hello. It's just kind of like supporting what was on picture. So like at this scene here, it's actually like this is the reveal.
Behind the AccuView family of contact lenses are inspired by the eye.
Sorry, I think I'm making this thing clip like crazy.
Behind the AccuView family of contact lenses are inspired by the eye and the sense of sight, and are committed to bringing healthy vision to everyone, everywhere, every day. These lenses deliver meaningful innovation designed to work in harmony with your eyes. We call it eye-inspired innovation. For example, AccuView Oasis one-day contact lenses are inspired by your eye's natural tears.
So anyway, I kind of tried to make it fit the picture as best as possible, because it seems like when producers are making these shots, these aren't physical camera shots, but they're changing a scene pretty much on the beat. Because that's just how a lot of them are made sometimes. And sometimes you just get lucky with a lot of different BPMs even. So it just depends. I mean, music's a cool thing, and all it is just time lining up. And where was I? The piano. So the synth lead, right. It was leading into that reveal.
Behind the AccuView family of contact lenses are inspired by the eye and the sense of sight.
All the products. And anyway, so there's that. Reverse piano for the beginning. So here,
the human eye is truly a wonder of...
See? Can you see? Oh, get it? Yeah. So, do you see now? It's a giant eye. Oh, by the way, Katy Perry's stage is cool. I don't know if you guys are going to go see her, but her stage is like a huge eye, and there's like a teardrop coming out into the audience. But anyway, you'll see that if you go to the show. It's pretty cool. I have some friends that are setting up the show. They just showed me some pictures of the complete setup. So anyway, I digress. So the guitar lead.
Inspired by your eye's natural.
Okay, I'm just kind of adjusting OBS volume a little bit. I hope that helps to kind of try and hear the line better, but maybe it's 6. Yeah, again, it's just me recording guitar. I don't know if I explained it yet. I've recorded this video like 3 times now, I think, because it kept messing up. But just recorded my guitar into my amp, Line 6 Spider 3 solid state amp, and it has a direct out of the amp head itself, and I just record that into my interface and then bring that in. And then I only recorded once, but I delayed one of the tracks. I don't know if you can see that, but Ableton has like a delay function already built into a channel strip, which is pretty cool. So you can just delay parts of an instrument. So I kind of created my own little Haas effect, I guess, to keep like a cool stereo image thing happening. So it's not just mono guitars all happening at once. So to kind of make it like make it have depth. So that's what I did there, and they're actually being sent to a delay over here, guitar delay, just a little simple delay. You can't see that. So just a little simple delay here. And just making sure I'm still recording here. Okay. So that's just the lead. So it's the same line repeated 3 times, different parts of the song. So that's the guitar lead. And now the rhythm guitar is kind of like the main potatoes of the song here. It was the first riff, pretty much. Yeah, it sounds like I'm playing a lot of notes. I'm not really playing much at all. So that's just what I did, and then it just sounded cool with the delay. So I'm just writing stuff I thought sounded cool, kind of fit with what was happening on picture. Hopefully it rings with the client well enough so that they want to use it. But whatever AccuView chose is what they chose. You know, we can only learn from who all these big companies, what they actually want to hear on their products. So it's what they wanted. So just got to roll with it, and then maybe something else comes down that way, comes our way like that, and then we just kind of go, okay, just take a shot at what these big companies kind of want behind their products. But the only thing we can do is try to make it sound as good as possible, and hopefully they kind of just look at it as, oh, great, this sounds great, and it makes me feel great that this is behind our thing. So it's all really subjective, but just wanted to show that to you guys. It's like 30 minutes. I'm not sure how many of you want to go through 30 minutes of this, but Jesse's review videos are like 2 hours, which are really good to watch if you want to really get some good feedback from other people's tracks and kind of see what he would like if you want to get on some of these albums. So, excuse me. I think that's it. I think I pretty much explained everything. There's really not many tracks happening here. I guess 33. My pop EDM track was like 120 tracks, I think, because I had so. That's just how I work. If I need a lot of layers, like some synths will be like 3 or 4 instances of Serum all going at once, but each thing has specific elements that I wanted to incorporate in just one complete sound. So like a synth pluck would have maybe 3 or 4 different oscillators on top of it. So it just depends what it is. With minimal corporate stuff, like this one in particular is just 33 tracks. Well, I guess maybe including some stuff I'm not even using, but anyway, before I get too off topic, just wanted to show you that. And if you stayed to the end, I wanted to show you some of the alt mixes so you can kind of hear those. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the other videos Jesse made about alt mixes. He's got links posted up about that. But I wanted to show you the alt mixes I did for this AccuView track. Well, not for AccuView. It's actually called Clearly Visible is what the track name is. Yeah, as we saw here. It's Clearly Visible, the track name is here. And so the sting, all right, it's like 10 seconds, I think. Yeah, so this one's 10 seconds. I'm going to play that for you. If this wasn't soloed.
Brighter and clearer vision.
Well, I'm sorry. There. So that's a sting, really short, 15 seconds. Excuse me, sorry. That one had a pretty quick fade out because I wanted to really hit 15 seconds. So there really wasn't any other way I could do it, really, that I could think of at the time. As I'm just sitting there on my laptop with headphones and just making alt mixes. So the 30 second. And so I have a 30-second one. So you can kind of see it's like a mix of all the elements happening at once. And here's the 60-second one.
Wants a daily contact lens that helps you make the most of every moment by offering sharper, brighter, and clearer vision with exceptional comfort? Then ask for AccuView Oasis one-day contact lenses with Hydrolux technology, an eye-inspired innovation from AccuView brand contact lenses.
Oh, I think that was that timecode error. Whoa. Weird, dude.
Oasis one-day contact lenses with Hydrolux technology, an eye-inspired innovation from AccuView brand contact lenses.
Whoa, did you see that? There's the error. I think Trevor pointed that out. But yeah, that's weird. But I guess as long as the song you make is going to line up with the picture, I don't think there would be any issues. But if you're using other software that will actually, you can put markers on frames, which I don't think I can do in Ableton. I've been trying to figure that out, but I really don't see anything about. Hold on one sec. I don't really see anything about frames, just buffer size, latency, test tone, sample rate, audio output, input, driver. Yeah, nothing really about frames, just like MIDI, library, record, yeah. Multi-core. I've been wanting to rewire this. I don't think I can. I hope so later. And say Ableton 10. Hint, hint. And anyway, I didn't put the drum and bass and the whatever alt mixes. I don't want to drag this out too long, but drum and bass is just basically I took the pianos and filtered more of it so there's more of a bass sound in it, and then left the bass and only drums. And no leads. I left the guitar, or the plucking delayed thing, and I just took out the guitar lead and I took out the synth lead. So I took these out, just muted them, and then bounced the whole file. So there you have it. Thanks for watching if you watched the whole way. I hope you learned something, and if you have any questions about any of the plugins I used, I'll be more than happy to answer when I have time. So anyway, have a great evening or morning wherever you live, and keep making awesome music. Take care.